Good evening all. Welcome to the grand finale, our last session of Introduction to React Library organized by the Computer Society of the University of Jaffna. Today we are tying up loose ends from yesterday and diving into an open discussion. Remember, doubts are more than welcome during this session, so let's make this a dynamic and interactive wrap-up. Thank you for joining us with us today. Let's make this final session epic. I'll hand it over to our speaker.
Thanks, Varsha. Hi, everyone. So today we are mainly going to focus on any discussion. And last day we have almost done with our system, but our search and delete functions more to do. I'll share my screen. So, okay. So anybody have any question until now? Okay, shall we do the search function together? So we have designed an input, but we haven't do any code for that. Didn't create any function for that. So can someone help me with that? So I'll search. I'll get that search input. Search to do here. We have to write some code to search our to-dos. So what can I do? Can someone help me with that? To get the value of this input, what can I do to store the value of this input? Any idea? I can use a hook. What's the hook I can use to store the value of this input? Can someone help me here? We normally use state hook to store values of this of a particular component. So I'm also going to use state to store the value of this search input, and then with that value I'm going to manipulate my list. So I'm going to use const. I'm going to name the variable as search string and name the function as set search string and equals use state and give the initial value as an empty string and use this value to this input. And when I am changing this value, I want to set this search string. How can I write that inside my onChange? Anyone? OnChange. What I'm going to do is I'm going to set search string. So for the input, I can get the element inside set search string. I can put target dot value. So when I am changing the value of this input, the value will be saved inside search string. So I have the value here. I want to manipulate my list with this value. For that, I want to pass that value to my to-do list component. For that, I'm going to pass it here and going to get the value from this component. Now, I want to manipulate my list with this string. I want to filter out all the to-do item which has the search string. So here I'm going to use filter map function. So filter, I'm going to use the includes function for string. Let me search it here. String includes JavaScript. Okay, it includes value includes. I'm going to check whether my to-do has the text I'm entering. So my to-do description's name is to-do. So T dot to-do includes search string. So let me check whether that works fine. I'm going to write does not work. It may be, yeah. When I write the exact same thing, then it searches it. But what I'm going to do is, I want the value even if I am writing in small letters. So what I can do is, I'm going to make this T dot to do to lowercase, and also this search string to lowercase. In that case, even if I write in lowercase or uppercase, even if I write like this, it should search something for me. So for that, I'm going to use to do to lowercase. JavaScript to lowercase. I'm going to use this function. So, and here also, I'm going to convert this string to lowercase. So now that should work. Even if I write in any case, it gives me the results. So my search works fine, and we have to do delete. Our delete here and delete all here. So for that, my delete button, I'm going to write a function on click. Let me name the function delete on click, and let me define the function here. Equals, this is array function. And inside this, I'm going to give my action. So before that, before executing my action, I want to ask a confirmation. So for that, confirm Can someone help me with this confirm function? How we write the confirm function in JavaScript? Anybody? Okay, let me write some text. Are you sure? Const result equals, did confirm gives any value? Expected use of, okay, it doesn't give me any value, but I want to do the function when the user clicks yes. So I can use it like this. So I'm going to copy and paste that here and write, are you sure to delete? And I'm getting an error here, quickly mark here. It says unexpected use of confirm. Why is that? Confirm is a JavaScript function, so it should not give me that error. So it has to give me Boolean back, but it says unexpected use of confirm. My slint is giving me that error. Let me check. I'm going to Google why that error occurs. Okay, text is not defined. That is okay, because my text is not defined. This one has to, okay, but still the confirm gives me error. I'm going to Google why I'm getting that error. So okay, I have to use like windows.confirm. So now my error is gone. So I'm going to write my action inside this. I don't want this else block, or else I can console log something inside this else block. So I'm going to console.log, and not confirmed. But inside this, I'm going to write my code. So I'm going to get my action here. This is my to-do action. So I have delete to do. I have to pass ID here. So inside my to-do list, I'm going to use this function. To use this, I have to first use dispatch and dispatch this action. So I'm going to const dispatch equals use dispatch. This is imported, and I'm going to dispatch this action, and I have to pass ID here. So I have to import this to this from store to do action. So how to get my ID? When I'm clicking on that specific to do, I want to set an ID. So, or else what I can do is, when I am passing this function here, I can pass an ID with this function. So when I'm calling this function, so what I'm going to do is, here I'm going to pass an ID. I have my ID here because this is inside map. So I have to-do.id here. I'm going to pass to-do.id to delete on click. So I'll get the ID from here and use the ID here. Now it should delete that specific item. Let me check whether that works fine. So let me delete this. It asks me if I cancel, it should not do anything. If I press OK, it should delete. It works fine as expected. So now what I have to do is, I want to do the coding for my bulk delete. So for that, my checkbox is here. So I have already written the code to get all the selected items. So it is set inside my selected item variable. So when I am clicking on delete selected, all those items should be deleted. So where is my delete selected button? It must be inside my index file. So let me go here, and when I am clicking on it, on click, I'm going to name this function as delete selected on click, and I'm going to define that function. Const equals and what I'm going to do here is, I have the selected item here. This is an array. I'm going to, let me console log the array and see what is inside this selected item. So here I have the IDs of these two items. So what I'm going to do inside my function is, I'm going to map this selected item. Let me remove it. Selected item dot map, and item. Inside this, I'm going to use my delete action. I'm going to dispatch my delete action for each of the item, each of the ID. So let me go to the this page, and I'm going to sorry, not this, to-do list page, and I'm going to copy this and paste it here. I have my dispatch. I don't have my delete to do yet. That is inside my to do action. So let me import it, and I'm going to give this value inside my action. So what this should do is, this should delete all the items that has the specific ID. So why am I getting a squiggly mark? Arable driven map expects a return value. Okay, it expects a return value, but still it should work. Let me check it. Now it should delete the box. Okay, let me also put return and true. Now it should delete all the selected items. It has some error because only one get deleted. So let me check what is the why that error is. It works fine. It seems like there was an error when refreshing the item, so it works fine. So all good here. So our system is completed. We have some warnings and errors in our console log. We look into that. Even if these errors, warnings come, it will work. Our system will work because these are not errors, these are warnings. But still, we'll look into it. When we are coding, inside the dev tools, we normally use these 5 tabs. We normally use console to check our HTML code and styles, and console to check our logs and warnings and errors, and network tab to check whether our endpoint works as expected, and then application. If we are setting anything in our local host, then we can come and check it here. Then we can see the keys and values which are set in our local host, and also we'll use Redux. Here we normally see our Redux state, and these are the actions and actions that are fired. Say, when I am deleting a value, let us check what is the action fired here. So let me delete this. When I am deleting it, delete to do is fired. So then my state will get updated with a specific reducer. So we can check the state here. We can check our actions here. So when I am doing this load initial employee, what happens? If I click on this, when I am deleting, what happens? What is the payload I am giving? So those things we can check. I can check the difference. Difference of the previous state and the current state. So I can even check the previous state from this bar. When I click on go back, I can get the previous state. When I click here, now this is deleted, go back, this is back because in my previous state it is not deleted. I can check my previous states with these from here. So this helps us to debug our errors. So that is our dev tool. Now I'm going to check. We have 3 warnings. So I'm going to check those things one by one. Here we have, it says use the default value or value props on select instead of setting selected. Let me check our select. Okay, we have a select here. We are using selected equals true or false, but what they are advising is to use default value or value. I want the value here, for that only I'm using selected equals selected. So I'm going to use value for that. My value is going to be this. So, and I'm going to remove this. So I can't, sorry, it is not my value. Selected value is my value. So I'm going to remove this and put it here. So that warning should be gone now. Let me refresh. Now I have 2 other warnings. Those are check the render method of addEdit. Each child should have this warning normally comes for map. So inside addEdit, I have some map and I'm not giving a key. So this is a map function. I'm going to give key for that. For that, I'm going to use e.id. Now that also should be gone. So I have one more. That is also about key inside to-do list. So inside to-do list, I should have a map here. So inside this, I should have a key. So let me give to-do.key here. Sorry, to-do.id. So that also should be gone by now. All good. So we have cleaned our warnings. So that's all for our system. So yes. Did anybody tried the system or any other kind of systems? Do anybody have any questions or doubts? We have 30 minutes more, so if anybody have any doubt, please ask. This going to be our very last session. So I'll be sharing this code with the organizers. So if you need the code, ask them. If you guys don't have any question, what can we do for the next 30 minutes?
I agreed. I
Yes.
guess there are a bit of like questions. Can you give us like 2 minutes?
Yes, sure.
If you all have any questions, you all can drop it in the chat or you all can unmute and ask.
There is,
Can you hear me?
yeah, there is one question. What is session storage? Is it similar to local storage? Session storage is more like um, state. When you refresh it, it will be gone. Local storage will not be deleted when you refresh. So for logins and all, we normally use local storage because even if you refresh the page, it will not be deleted from our browser. I hope that answers the question. To serve, yeah, there is another question. To save our data and all, we normally use, of course, database because we can't use all our data in our local storage, right? It's not safe. What we normally do is when we log in, we save our token inside our local storage with an expiry date. So for that time period, it will be there in our browser. Our data, we normally get it from database, of course. Other data. And also our data should be in a centralized place, right? We can't really save those data in our browser, the local storage, those things, those values will be in our browser. So it has to be in a centralized place. So our data will be saved in some database, of course.
I guess there was another participant who was to unmute. So you all can ask.
There is another question. Recoil is one of the state management library. What's the difference between Redux and Recoil? I haven't actually heard about Recoil, but what I can tell is there are a lot of state management libraries like Redux. Redux is kind of famous that everyone uses. Other than that, we have like a lot of state management libraries. Recoil uh, can be a state management library like that. Let me browse it. Recoil state management. Seems like that is written by Facebook, no? That seems to be more modern one, no? Right? There's there seems to be a big debate about whether Recoil or Redux is better. Normally in companies they use Redux because that is like it is used for a long time and it's very flexible. So uh, if you want to use Recoil, you can try that too. Yeah, they are saying for small and medium-sized project, Recoil is better than the Redux because Redux is very complex and that suits a large product projects. There is another question I have noticed. There is a session variable in Express.js code. What's the purpose of the session variable when auth state is managed within client? I'm sorry, I haven't really looked so into Express.js. So I have no idea about it. Maybe we have to browse it. Session variable elements. Yeah, I don't have an answer for the last question.
We'll be waiting for like another minute or two. If you all have any questions, you all can just drop it in the chat, or you all can even unmute.
After login, we get into system. Should we inform server about logout? Is there any necessity or just remove from localhost? Normally, we remove that from localhost. We don't really need to tell the system that we are logging out because say when I'm logging in, I'm storing a token in my localhost, and when I'm like visiting a page, what I'm doing is I'll be checking whether my localhost has that token. So say it is expired or we have removed that. When I'm going to a page, we normally check it whether that is there. So when it is there, it will not get any data from, like it won't allow us to visit a page or get data from our database. So it's not needed to tell the tell the server that we are logging out. Removing is enough. Yeah.
Okay, I guess there are no more questions. Okay. On behalf of everyone in attendance, I want to extend a heartfelt thank you for your outstanding contributions as our speaker throughout the introduction to React Library session series. Your expertise, passion, and dedication have truly enriched our learning experience. Your clear explanations, engaging delivery, and willingness to address questions have made each session a valuable learning opportunity for all of us. As an expression of our gratitude, please accept this virtual appreciation. Um, and now I'll hand it over to our secretary, who will deliver the official vote of thanks.
Thank you, Harsha. Am I audible?
Yes, you are.
As we wrap up the Reacting with Node series, I want to extend a special thank you to our exceptional speaker, Ms. Thanaruby Nanthagopal, whose expertise and passion have truly enriched each session. Additionally, I commend the efforts of the Computer Society members for their diligent organization, especially as this marks their inaugural event. To all the participants, your active participation has been invaluable. I also want to express gratitude to our patron, Dr. Bharati Mayuradhan, and to our senior treasurer, Dr. Kogul Tanikasalam, for their guidance. Looking ahead, we are excited to announce that a continuation of this series with Node.js sessions will be coming soon. Stay tuned for the update and join us.
Thank you, Mr. Fenshin. So that's all for the day. As our secretary said, join us for the remaining parts as well, where we would be looking into MySQL and Node. And also the resources would be shared with you all in the group. Um, and that's all, I guess. So if you all have any doubts, still you all can post it in our group using the form that we would be sharing tonight. Uh, so that's all. I'll wind up. Thanks and bye. Good night.
And thank you everyone for this opportunity. Yeah, and thank you very much. Bye.
Sorry to interrupt. If possible, shall we all turn on our cameras for a group photo?
Give me 2 minutes, please.
Yeah, okay. We'll be giving we'll be waiting for like 2 minutes, and all who are possible to turn on your cameras, please turn it on. And the participants, the virtual background has been shared in the group. You all can download that. Also, I have shared it to the speaker as well. Thanaruby akka, if you are there, I have sent it to you in WhatsApp. Those who all are ready can turn on your cameras. If there's anyone who wish us to like wait for some more time, please raise your hands. Otherwise, we will go for the pick. Okay, I guess that's all. So let's capture the moment. Let's go in a count of 3, 2, and 1. Uh, let's give it one more pick. 3, 2, 1, smile. All right. Thanks for joining with us. Good night. Bye.
Good night, all. Bye.